Myself, Payal Mane. Today I am going to read JMFC pre-exam 2017. Question number 1. Remedy of rectification available under Section 26 of the Specific Relief Act relates to. Answer is A. Mistaken expression of contract only. Second, relief of recession in granted in cases. Answer is C. Both void and voidable contract. Next, Section 12 of the Specific Relief Act permits grant of specific performance of part of contract. Answer is A, where the part left unperformed bears only small portion of the whole in value and admits of compensation in money. Next, court is not bound to grant specific performance of the contract merely because it is lawful to do so and can properly exercise discretion not to grant decree for specific performance of contract. If answer is D, both 1 and 2 are not correct. A is contract to not violable gives plaintiff unfair advantage over the defendant. B, where performance of contract would involve more hardship on the defendant which he did not foresee than the hardship to the plaintiff. Both are incorrect. Next. Next is where premises are let out for residential purpose and tenant dies, who amongst the following can be termed as tenant under Section 7 of 15 of the Maharashtra Rent Control Act 1999? And the answer is B, member of the tenant's family residing with him. Choose the correct option. A. The Maharashtra Rent Control Act 1999 shall not apply to any premises belonging to government or local authority. B. Maharashtra Rent Control Act 1999 shall not apply to the public limited company having paid up shares capital of less than 1 crore rupees. Next is in a contract of guarantee. Answer is B. There is an implied promise by the principal debtor to indemnify surety. Next, where a contract to give time to the principal debtor is made by the creditor with the third person and not the principal debtor, the answer is surety is not discharged. Next, A and B agree that A shall pay ₹1,000 to B, for which B shall afterwards deliver to A either rice or smuggled opium. And the answer is C. This is valid contract to deliver rice and a void agreement as to the opium. Next is which one of the following is not correct? And answer is C. Agreement in restraint of trade is not valid. Next, decree shall be deemed to include the rejection of claim and the determination of any question within the meaning of section 144 of the Civil Procedure Code, and the answer is B, and it's right. Next one is whether an issue heard and finally decided by a competent court of limited jurisdiction shall operate as res judicata in a subsequent suit, or notwithstanding that such court of limited jurisdiction was not competent to try such a suit, withstanding that such court of limited jurisdiction was not competent to try such suit, and the answer is B, yes. The provisions of res judicata also apply to the execution proceeding of a decree. Answer is A, true. Next is under which provision of Civil Procedure Code is a suit to set aside decree on the ground of lack of territorial jurisdiction barred? Answer is B, section 21A of CPC. Is silent as regards interest. Where defendant is confined in prison, the suit summons shall be served upon him. C, by delivery of the summons to officer in charge of the prison for service of the defendant. Next is an aggrieved informant on refusal on the part of officer in charge of a police station to record information regarding cognizable offense may, answer is D, send in writing substance of the information by post to the superintendent of police. Next is for offense punishable with fine only, the period of limitation for taking cognizance is, answer is B, 6 months. Next is as per section 357 of Criminal Procedure Code 1973, order to pay compensation can be, answer is D, all of the above, and all of the above is when sentence of fine only is imposed, when sentence including a sentence of death of which fine forms a part is imposed. C is when sentence of which fine does not form part is imposed. And next is under the Code of Criminal Procedure, services of summons can be made on any person other than a witness. Answer is D, none of the above. Next, the compounding of offense under section 320 of Criminal Procedure Code before framing of charge shall have the effect of, answer is D, an acquittal. Next is for the purpose of period of limitation under section 468 of Criminal Procedure Code, the period of limitation in relation to the offenses which are tried together shall be determined with relevance to, answer is A, the offense which is punishable with the more severe punishment, and second one, the offense which has the most severe punishment. Next is section 129 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 states that no one shall be compelled to disclose to the court any confidential communication which has taken place between, answer is C, legal professional advisor and his client. Under section 114 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872, court may presume the existence of any fact which it thinks likely to have happened, regard being had to the common course of, answers D, all of the above, natural events, human conduct, public and private business. Next, the period of 30 years as contemplated under section 90 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 to be computed from the date of execution of the document up to the time, answer is C, when the document is tendered in evidence in any proceeding. The doctrine falsus in omnibus is neither a sound rule of law nor a rule of practice. Hostile witness is one who, answer is C, gives statement against a party who calls who who calls him as a witness. Which of the following is an exception to the hearsay evidence? Answer is B, dying declaration. Next is which of the following is not secondary evidence of the original? Answer is B, oral account of the content of a copy by a person who has seen only copy. Next is smoking in public places is violation of fundamental right under Article 21. Section 5 of Limitation Act applies to, answer is B, appeals and applications. Next is an application for bringing legal representative of a party has to be filed. Answer is C, 90 days of death. Next is in a case where an application for leave to sue or appeal as a pauper has been bona fidely filed and rejected by the court, and the period of limitation for suit or appeal shall be computed from the date. Answer is D, when the application to sue as a pauper was rejected but after payment of court fee for the suit. Period of limitation means A, period of limitation prescribed for any suit, appeal, or application in the schedule of the Limitation Act. A hangman who hangs a prisoner pursuant to the order of the court is exempted from criminal liability under Indian Penal Code under Section 78. Next is no transfer of property can operate to create an interest which take effect from the lifetime of one or more person living at the and minority of some person who shall be living at the expiration of that period. It is C, rule against perpetuity. Next is under the Transfer of Property Act 1882, the term attested means A, attested by two or more persons. Filling the blanks by appropriate option. Every transfer of immovable property made with intent to defeat or delay the creditors of the transferor shall be, answer is C, voidable option of any creditor so defeated or delayed. Next is a gift of a thing to two or more dons of whom one does not accept it is, answer is C, void as to the interest of a person who did not accept it, which he would have taken had he accepted it. Next is which of the following is not required for a valid acknowledgement? Answer is D, in the handwriting of the person concerned. Dakaiti is committed when B, five or more person commit or attempted to commit robbery. Next is, which of the following is not a correct statement? Answer is D. A magistrate exercising jurisdiction in respect of a charge on which he has power only to commit for trial to another court is a judge. Next is, within the meaning of Indian Penal Code, public means, answer is 1 and 2 both, any class or the public and any community. Whoever does anything with intention of causing wrongful gain to one person or wrongful loss to another person is said to do that thing. Answer is B, dishonestly. Specific relief can be granted. Answer is A, only for enforcing individual civil rights. Next is, under the Specific Relief Act, a suit for recovery of possession can be filed. Answer is C, in respect of both movable and immovable property. Next is, to maintain a suit under Section 9 of the Specific Relief Act, the possession must be, answer is D, either symbolic or constructive or actual physical possession. Next is, an order or decree under Section 6 of the Specific Relief Act is, answer is A, neither appealable nor reviewable. As per Section 16C of the Specific Relief Act, specific performance of contract cannot be enforced in favor of a person who failed to aver and prove that he performed or has been ready and willing to perform the essential terms of contract of his part. For the purpose of this section, where the contract involves the payment of money, answer is C. It is not essential for the plaintiff to actually tender to the defendant or deposit in the court money except when so directed by the court. Answer is D. It is not essential for the plaintiff to actually tender to the it is not essential for the plaintiff to actually tender to the defendant or deposit in the court money except when so directed by the court. Next is, decree for eviction on the ground of bona fide requirement may not be passed even after the bona fide requirement is proved by the landlord if, answer is A, it is proved that greater hardship would cause to the tenant by grant of the decree than that would be caused to the landlord if refused. Any agreement for letting of any premises entered into between landlord and tenant as required under Section 55 of the Maharashtra Rent Control Act 1999 B. Answer is C. Shall be in writing and shall be registered under the Registration Act 1908. Next is, a landlord shall not be entitled to recovery of possession so long as the tenant. Next is, a tenant cannot be evicted even if he erects a permanent structure if D, the landlord consent to it in writing. Next is, essential supply or services can contemplated 24 BF the Maharashtra Rent Control Act includes, answer is D, supply of water and electricity, light in passages and on staircases, lifts and conversations and sanitary services. Next is, liability of a partner for act of the partnership form is, answer is D, jointly with all other partners and also severally. Next is, as per Section 69 of the Indian Partnership Act, there is no bar for a firm in respect of, answer is B, criminal proceeding. Next is, when no provision is made by contract between the partners for the partnership is B, partnership at will. Answer is A. Warranty is a stipulation collateral to the main purpose of the contract. Answer is B. The breach of which gives rise to claim for damages. The next is, according to the provisions of the Sales of Goods Act, notwithstanding that the goods may have passed to the buyer, the unpaid seller of the goods has. Next is, in execution of decree of payment of maintenance amount, salary can be attached to the extent of, answer is C, 2/3 salary. A suit to obtain an urgent relief against government or any police public office may be instituted in respect of any act purporting to be done by said public officer in his official capacity is C, with the leave of court without serving notice under the section 80 of 1 of the Civil Procedure Code. Next is caveat shall not remain in force after expiry of 90 days. Next is where a plaint has been rejected, plaintiff on same cause of action. Answer is A, may file new suit. Attachment before judgment in a suit dismissed for default or non-prosecution revises automatically on restoration of the suit. Answer is C, false. Next is in the accused is by reason of previous conviction liable either to enhanced punishment of a different kind. Such offense is A, cannot be compounded. Next is wife shall not be entitled to receive maintenance amount from the husband under section 125 criminal procedure code if she is living in adultery. She refuses to live with husband without sufficient reason if they are living separately by consent. Answer is D, all of the above. Next is in a case of allegation of defamation of person who is under the age of 18 years or a lunatic or infirm sickness or infirmity unable to make a complaint, or a woman who as per local custom ought not to be compelled to appear in public, a complaint can be filed by the answer is B, some person with the leave of the court. Next is an application for maintenance under section 125 criminal procedure code by father against his son has to be filed in the district A where the son resides. Next is court can take cognizance of the offense under section 498A of penal code even if the complaint is made by answer is A, the brother of aggrieved person. Next is statement of a witness recorded under section 164 of criminal procedure code can be used. Answer is C, both for contradiction and corroboration. Filling the blanks where an electronic record purporting or proved to be of B 5 years old is produced from proper custody. The court may presume that the electronic signature purported to be of a particular person was so affixed by him or any person authorized by him in his behalf. Confession of one accused is admissible against co-accused. Answer is A if they are tried jointly for the same offense. Next is cognizable offense means answer is B, offense in which police officer may arrest without warrant. Next is presumption under section 90 of the Indian Evidence Act as to due execution and attestation of the document is attached to. Answer is B, any 30-year-old document produced from proper custody. Next is which of the following is false? Answer is B. Governor holds office during the pleasure of Chief Minister of State. Next is on April 2008, Supreme Court of India in which of the following cases upheld the OBC quota in Central Educational Institutes, clearing the way for reservation of 27% of backward classes. Answer is Ashok Kumar Thakur versus Union of India. Next is Article 21 of the Constitution of India deal with which subject? Answer is C, protection of life and liberty. Next, in which of the following cases it was held that telephone tapping invasion of right of privacy? Answer is A, People Union for Civil Liberties versus Union of India. Next is which of the following is not fundamental right? Answer is C, right to protest properties. Next is in the preamble of Indian Constitution, provision of liberty consists of answer is C, thought and worship. Next is which is the fundamental duty as provided in Article 51 of the Constitution of India? Answer is A, to develop scientific humanism and spirit of inquiry and reform. Next is Uniform civil code for citizens is provided in Indian Constitution as per. Answer is B. Article 44. Part 4A regarding fundamental duties was added in the Constitution of India by. Answer is B. 42nd Amendment. Next is, which is not a necessary qualification to be a President of India. Answer is C. Must be qualified for Rajya Sabha. Next is, any claim by way of set-off shall be treated as a separate suit and be deemed to have been instituted on the date as the suit in which the set-off is pleaded. Answer is C. Partly 2. Next is, a suit is decreed on 1.4.15 and decree was prepared by the court on 16.4.15. Applicable for copy of decree was filed on 5.5.15. Whether the period taken by court for preparing decree can be excluded while computing the period of limitation for appeal. Answer is B. No. Next is, in a suit or application based on fraud or mistake, limitations shall not begin to run until. Answer is D. Both 1 and 2 are correct. A fresh period of limitation begins to run every moment of the time during which it continues in case of. Answer is A. Continuing breach of contract. Next is, at the termination of the period irritated by the Limitation Act to any person for institution of a suit for possession of any property. Answer is A. His right to such property shall be extinguished. Next is, which of the following is not a general exception? Answer is C. Act of person incapable of judgment by reason of voluntary intoxication. Next is, which of the following is true? Answer is D. In all robbery there is either theft or extortion. Next is, culpable homicide is defined in section C of 299(1) of IPC. Which of the following statement is correct? Answer is C. Every murder is culpable homicide. Next is, whoever by force compels any person to go from any place is said to. Answer is D. Abduct that person. Which of the following is right under the provision of the Transfer of Property Act 1882? Answer is B. A mere right to sue cannot be transferred. Next is, a lease of immovable property for agricultural or manufacturing process shall be terminable on the part of either lessor or lessee by the notice of. Answer is B. 120 days and 6 months under section 105 of Transfer of Property Act. Rent means. Answer is D. All of the above. Next is, according to the Transfer of Property Act, instrument means. Answer is A. A non-testamentary instrument. Next is, where any movable property is transferred in which a third person has a right to maintenance or a provision for advancement or marriage from the profit of said property of which transferee has notice. Answer is A. Such right may be enforced against such transferee.